Look up in the sky! It's an asteroid! It's a... is that a whale? No, it's Rosie O'Donnell, our hero of the day!
Wherever Rosie O'Donnell's gone, she's probably eating a leprechaun.
In the relentless, often bizarre theater of celebrity, few figures command attention quite like Rosie O'Donnell. For decades, she has been a self-appointed lightning rod, transforming every public appearance into a spectacle, every opinion into a declaration of war. Her signature brand of high-volume outrage, a potent cocktail of grievance and self-righteousness, has become as recognizable as her distinctive laugh. But what happens when that unbridled fury, that perpetually simmering indignation, collides head-on with two of the sharpest, most unyielding minds in modern media, the incisive, surgically precise Megyn Kelly and the hilariously brutal, no-nonsense Greg Gutfeld? The result was not merely a debate, nor even a simple roast. It was a complete, calculated demolition, a verbal takedown so utterly devastating it peeled back the layers of Rosie's carefully constructed public persona, revealing something far more unsettling beneath the surface. This wasn't just a clash of titans, it was an excavation, an unfiltered exposé of a pattern that has defined her career. You simply won't believe the raw, unvarnished honesty unleashed, or the sheer, unapologetic force of their collective reaction. It was a moment that redefined how public figures are held accountable, laying bare the uncomfortable truth about a celebrity who has long operated in her own self-serving reality.
She's our hero of the day for leaving America if Trump won and relocating to Ireland, where she's still not funny. So many celebs say they're going to do it, but never do. But does she have any regrets?
I have no regrets. Not a day has gone by that I thought it was the wrong decision. I was welcomed with open arms. I knew after reading Project 2025 that if Trump got in, it was time for me and my non-binary child to leave the country.
We are about to see Miranda, the character played by Cynthia Nixon, who is so annoying, in bed with a virgin nun played by Rosie O'Donnell. I just threw up a little in my mouth. Go ahead, roll it.
Are amazing.
Oh,
I have never experienced anything like that.
Ew.
that's a nice way to wake up.
Oh, you are really, really something.
Yeah?
Oh my God, yes. It felt so, I don't know, electric, and yet still so natural. I never dreamed my first time could be both those things.
First time?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. I'm so grossed out, Emily. You have to talk. I can't.
From the very first flash of the spotlight, Rosie O'Donnell meticulously cultivated a specific image. But in recent years, nothing defined her more profoundly than her dramatic public vow. If Donald Trump were to win the presidency, she declared she would pack her bags and leave America. It was a bold, performative promise, echoed by countless other celebrities who then conspicuously failed to follow through. Yet, Rosie for once was true to her word, choosing the seemingly tranquil pastures of Ireland as her new sanctuary. Her justification was painted in broad, self-sacrificing strokes. She was a martyr for her family, specifically citing the ominous shadow of Project 2025 and the perceived dire need to protect her non-binary child from an imagined impending dystopia. She spoke of being welcomed with open arms, declaring no regrets about her drastic departure. But a nagging question lingered in the minds of many. Was this genuinely a principled stand, a courageous act of conviction, or simply another elaborate act in a long-running self-serving drama? Savvy commentators and the public alike quickly observed a glaring disconnect. Here was a celebrity who claimed to flee a country she despises, yet remained its loudest, most persistent, and frankly, most obsessive critic from afar, a self-imposed exile who never truly left the battle.
Mr. Trump, one of the things people love about you is you speak your mind and you don't use a politician's filter. However, that is not without its downsides, in particular when it comes to women. You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account—
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
But once you've decided against all evidence or reality that you are the good guy, you can excuse anything. They even push the myth that Musk is in it for himself. Have you seen Tesla's stock lately? It's lower than Rosie O'Donnell's testicles. Slow. Wow, she's nuts. Hey. Apparently America couldn't be happier, but like I said, she's our hero of the day for doing what so many other celebs don't have the guts to do. Wow, first Ellen, now Rosie. Makes you wonder what lesbian will leave next. Julie, she seems miserable, and it doesn't really matter where she goes. She's trying to get away from whatever is inside her, because I looked at her and I go like, wow, she has changed.
Rosie's public presence has always been a masterclass in the art of self-generated chaos. Her entire brand, her very essence, feels like that one perpetually agitated relative who dominates every single holiday gathering, demanding all available attention, hijacking conversations with unsolicited, often overly dramatic personal sagas, and yet somehow always expects to take all the leftovers home. It is a relentless high-volume performance, a relentless microwave beep at full volume just as you're about to lose your composure. Remember her now infamous, bewildering appearance on And Just Like That, the Sex and the City reboot, where she bafflingly portrayed a nun in a bizarrely intimate scene with Cynthia Nixon's character. The internet, as one, recoiled in a collective gasp of bewilderment and slight nausea. That scene, in its sheer awkwardness, perfectly encapsulated Rosie's often desperate, often misguided struggle for relevance, a frantic attempt to shock and awe that consistently lands flat, leaving viewers more bewildered than genuinely entertained. Watching her current attempts at staying in the public eye is akin to witnessing a slow-motion car wreck, where the driver repeatedly crashes their own vehicle, and then, with a flourish, declares it avant-garde performance art, a profound statement on modern existence.
The herpes virus. I'm sorry, Exhibit A. Here is Rosie O'Donnell bitching and moaning about her favorite person, Donald Trump. I think this is before she moved. I can't keep track of where she's living in the world to avoid him. Watch.
Well, hey, everybody, it's Friday all day, as my Nana would say. And look what I have on my lip. Everybody's been saying, you have herpes all this time, and I never had a cold sore in my life. And now I have a cold sore. And it makes me think that perhaps this weird pimple that had a tiny little head was a cold sore too. And so I talked to my doctor today, and I did a video telehealth, and they said that it's not a cold sore, it's some reaction to the sun.
It is impossible to tell the full saga of Rosie O'Donnell without dedicating significant attention to Donald Trump. Their feud, born from a seemingly innocuous public slight, quickly escalated, becoming the defining characteristic of her very identity. It evolved into a personal vendetta she clung to with unwavering, almost pathological ferocity long after the rest of the world had moved on to other, more pressing matters. This relentless, consuming animosity didn't just shape her public persona, it became her public persona. It fueled her every piece of commentary, dictated her every outrage, and conveniently served as the readily available scapegoat for any perceived career setback or personal misfortune. This perpetual narrative of victimhood, the constant refrain of being wronged, was precisely the target Megyn Kelly so expertly, so surgically dismantled. Kelly, renowned for her cold, calculated precision and her ability to cut through noise, looked at Rosie's behavior not as a political statement, nor even a genuine grievance, but as a stark, cautionary tale of a personality utterly consumed by bitterness and an almost pathological inability to move forward. She didn't just criticize, she systematically deconstructed Rosie's arguments, exposing the glaring inconsistencies, the often childish fallacies, and the deep underlying current of self-pity that flowed through every statement. Kelly's approach was akin to a seasoned lioness, patiently, calmly, yet utterly dominantly, confronting a raccoon attempting to deliver a TED Talk, direct, unforgiving, and utterly, absolutely dominant.
Everybody hates her. That's the same thing with Rosie. You know why she's leaving, right? We know why she's leaving. Come on, we know. It's literally an ego trip. Once nobody likes you, you just leave.
So when are you leaving, Jesse?
It's such mundane commentary. Oh, we agree. You're so enlightened. Oh, I agree with her. Oh, shut up. She's lying to you. She's not leaving because of her. By the way, if you keep your home in America, you're not moving. Rosie O'Donnell told CNN it's heartbreaking to watch Donald Trump destroy the country from her new home of Ireland. Meanwhile, Ireland told CNN it's heartbreaking that there's not enough Guinness to make Rosie O'Donnell look pretty.
While Kelly brought the surgical precision and intellectual dismantling, Greg Gutfeld brought the blunt, comedic force of a wrecking ball. He approached Rosie's public outbursts and often nonsensical pronouncements with the exasperated air of a substitute teacher who had finally, unequivocally reached his breaking point with the class clown. Gutfeld took one look at her latest public statements, her convoluted logic, and her persistent victimhood, and dismissed them with a definitive, almost weary, "Nope, not today, piglet." His reaction resonated deeply, mirroring the collective sigh of exasperation, the shared eye roll from millions of Americans attempting to enjoy their morning coffee, only to have it spoiled by Rosie's latest predictable rant. Gutfeld, with his signature blend of biting sarcasm and disarming logic, famously likened Rosie's online takes to fortune cookies discovered in a dive bar, confusing, unsettlingly greasy, and ultimately profoundly disappointing. He quipped that engaging with her online was like being trapped in a group chat with a drunk raccoon who had somehow, inexplicably, stumbled upon Wikipedia and decided to share its newfound wisdom. Her logic, he famously quipped, was like a malfunctioning Roomba, bumping repeatedly into reality, spinning in frantic, meaningless circles, making a lot of incessant noise, and yet somehow convinced it was accomplishing something profoundly important. It was a brutal, yet undeniably accurate assessment.
Rosie O'Donnell apologized to Ireland's Prime Minister for overshadowing his visit to the White House. She also apologized for overshadowing the Western Hemisphere. That's a fat joke. So currently, the Democrat Party's brand is about as appealing as Rosie O'Donnell river dancing in a thong. It's so bad, even Bill Maher doesn't think we'll ever see a Democrat president again.
It's too upsetting.
Anybody wanted
Donald Trump
that.
would never inflict herpes on Rosie O'Donnell. I think he's made that very clear.
Since Eliana refuses to play, Emily, I've got another soundbite for you.
I didn't even know Sex and the City was back on the air. I saw it when
it's happening. You have to react live to the herpes. I'm sorry.
And I was like, oh, you know what? The culture stuff, that's Emily's bailiwick anyway.
Here we go. Here we go. Here's another beauty. This is Rosie in another scene singing to Miranda. Enjoy.
Because I knew you. Because I knew you. I have been changed for good. It's from Wicked.
I take Eric.
Go ahead.
Some comedy, finally. Finally, Rosie O'Donnell is back with comedy.
Rosie's relentless, almost desperate pursuit of relevance often manifests in bizarre, unhinged, and painfully unfiltered social media posts. Remember her now infamous video discussing her apparent herpes, which, in a bizarre turn, her doctor later identified as a simple reaction to the sun. It was a truly revealing, cringe-inducing glimpse into the unhinged, unfiltered nature of her public presence. One has to ask, what exactly is Rosie O'Donnell famous for now? Can anyone name even one recent project she has done that wasn't a shaky, rage-fueled Instagram story, recorded with the visual quality of a potato camera, and seemingly fueled by an explosive cocktail of rage and expired NyQuil? Her most consistent gig lately, it appears, has been yelling at clouds, a self-appointed unhinged oracle in a discount hoodie, broadcasting her grievances to the digital void. Her acting career, once somewhat prominent, now appears largely defined by her uncanny inability to convincingly play anything other than a magnified, perpetually annoyed version of herself, embodying the emotional range of a parking meter. Her social media timeline, a chaotic stream of consciousness, reads like a fever dream, as if a drama queen was fed into a blender with a healthy dose of political confusion, a generous dash of 2008 Facebook energy, and then hit puree. It's a public, agonizing dissection of dignity, played out live and unfiltered for all the world to see and often to regret witnessing. Despite the constant online ratioing, the overwhelming negativity and mockery her posts consistently receive, Rosie somehow, inexplicably, wears it as a badge of honor, as if getting universally dunked on equates to some profound activist credential, a mark of bravery. No, Rosie, the internet collectively shouts. Getting roasted on Twitter doesn't mean you're brave. It simply means you logged on again when literally no one asked you to, or frankly wanted you to. She persistently claims to be misunderstood, yet her public persona is as subtle as a foghorn blaring in the hushed sanctity of a library. The pervasive problem isn't that people don't understand Rosie, it's precisely that we understand her all too well, and often we profoundly regret that understanding. Her brief, ill-fated attempt to rebrand herself as an advocate for mental health felt particularly ironic, almost darkly comedic, given that her primary public platform appears to be a consistent display of unhinged behavior, while simultaneously demanding to be taken seriously. It's like seeking crucial weather advice from the very eye of a tornado. When she dramatically claimed Donald Trump was destroying the country from her new home in Ireland, Greg Gutfeld famously quipped that Ireland was equally heartbroken, primarily due to a potential looming Guinness shortage. This deep-seated self-aggrandizing martyrdom, her constant weary refrain of "you don't know what I've been through," rings profoundly hollow when her life, every single facet of it, has been lived so publicly, every opportunity, every spotlight, seemingly transformed into an impromptu, often tearful therapy session on live television. Rosie O'Donnell's public meltdowns, affectionately dubbed her Rosie Rants, are not a burgeoning movement. They are unmistakably a recurring, tragic spectacle. Even Megyn Kelly, herself no stranger to the political storms and media firestorms, suggested with a weary sigh that at some point therapy must have, kicked in. Instead, Rosie, with a stubbornness bordering on the pathological, built an emotional Airbnb in her Trump feud and, despite all evidence and reason, steadfastly refused to evict herself. Her debate style is volume over substance, a cacophony of sound designed to drown out reason. Her logic, if one can call it that, often spirals into a dizzying rant about convoluted global conspiracies, the perils of gluten, and a deeply personal, perplexing theory about why the patriarchy specifically sabotaged her Netflix password. The persistent rhetorical question that hangs in the air is always, "What exactly are you mad about this time, Rosie?" And the answer, delivered with predictable, wearying regularity, is invariably everything. Rosie is mad at the weather, mad at billionaires, mad at people who aren't mad enough, mad at microwaves, mad at happiness, mad at herself, but mostly, profoundly, mad that the world dared to move on, dared to flourish without first checking if she was okay. The collective scathing response from both Megyn Kelly and Greg Gutfeld served as a brutal, much needed, and utterly unforgettable intervention. Rosie, sit down, please. For the love of dignity, stop trying to make Rosie Rants happen. It's not a movement, it's a meltdown on repeat, a societal herpes virus that keeps flaring up. No one, it became painfully clear, truly wants to watch a grown woman descend into a public meltdown as if it were a new, groundbreaking art form. You tried screaming your way into relevance once, Rosie. You got the mic, you got the shows, you got the headlines. The world heard you, and what was revealed was far darker, far more disturbing than anyone truly anticipated.